For our visualization prayer treatment this week, we are going to mainly focus on dream interpretation and dream manipulation. If you look at the screen, I've made a few notes to guide us in our visualization prayer treatment for the week. Remember that every week we give out some visualization prayer treatment to guide us on our prayer strategy for the week. So I trust that in the past week you had a great time practicing the art of scripting. If you don't know anything about scripting, please go back to the video that we posted last week on the principle of scripting. It will teach you everything you need to know about how you can change your life through the practice of scripting. Okay, so today we want to talk about dream interpretation and dream manipulation. Some of you may already be familiar with this technique, but for those of you who are not familiar with it, this is the right day. God has guided you here so you can learn some powerful principles on how you can interpret your dreams, number one, and on how you can manipulate dreams. I know these are unusual terms, but as we move along, you'll begin to understand how this works. Okay, so we're going to start with dream interpretation. Now, I believe that every one of us, at some point in our lives, we have had dreams, either good or bad. But if you're one of those people who say, Brother Denzel, I'm the type of person who doesn't dream at all. I go to sleep at night and I dream absolutely nothing. I wake up in the morning like nothing happened. Well, there is another technique called dream inducement. Unfortunately, we're not going to cover it today, but it's called dream inducement, where you put yourself in a state that enables you to receive dreams from the subconscious mind. You put yourself in a state that enables you to receive dreams from the Lord when you go to sleep. It's called dream inducement, but we're going to deal with that at some later stage. But for today, let's start with dream interpretation. Make it a rule to record all of your dreams. Okay, guys, if you're coming into this thing of interpreting your dreams, you need to understand that every one of your dreams is absolutely important. Every time when you dream, you are receiving communication from a higher dimension. You are receiving communication from the Lord, and He's speaking to you about things that are happening currently in your life, or He's speaking to you about things which happened in the past, or things which are yet to come. So when you understand the vital role which dreams play in our lives, you realize that you need to record every dream that you have. So I started recording my dreams, I believe it was 2012. And every once in a while I go back to read the dreams which I had from the past. And it's amazing how certain things which I saw in my dreams in 2012 are beginning to happen now. You see, because all my life I have understood that God speaks a lot to me through the dream. So I believe He speaks to you as well through your dreams, but maybe you've just never taken it seriously. That's why I want to encourage you. Make it a rule to record all of your dreams. Because any dream that does not make sense now may one day make sense. It may become clarified in some other way. So you may say to yourself, I had a dream, but I feel like this dream doesn't mean anything. Well, write it down anyway, because it may happen that 2 months from now, 2 years from now, you may look back and think to yourself, wow, now this dream is starting to make sense. So just write it down. So if you're going to take the business of dream interpretation seriously, you need to start recording your dreams. And another thing which I should mention at this point is, if somebody says to you, Brother so-and-so, I had a dream about you. Okay, they're speaking to you and they say, Brother Denzel, for example, Denzel, I had a dream about you. And this is what I saw in my dream. I don't take it lightly. No matter how negative or positive the dream sounds, I don't take it lightly. I record it. So if I have a dream, or if somebody else has a dream about me, I record it. That's very important for you to notice. So when you start interpreting your dreams, let me just give you a few points to guide and to help you along. Every person or activity in your dream has a direct relevance to something in your past, something in your present, or something in your future. It is rarely ever about the other person you saw in the dream. In most of our dreams, we will see people that are directly related to us, or people that are in our lives. We'll see them doing certain things in the dream, either good or bad. But I want you to understand that everyone you see in your dream, it's rarely ever about the other person that you saw in the dream. It's only on a few occasions where that person actually is appearing in your dream so that you can give them a message. It's only on a few occasions where that happens. Okay? I need you to understand that every person you see in your dream, every activity in the dream is speaking directly to you about something that is happening presently in your life. It may be speaking to you maybe about things that happened in the past, but which are still relevant, of course. Sometimes it can be speaking to you about things which are yet to come in your future, okay? And obviously, if in that dream you see people that are no longer present in your life, but they were there in your past, maybe it could be speaking to you about certain things which are influencing you now, but those things are from your past. Maybe you need to address certain things which happened to you in the past. Let me give another example here and say, okay, when it comes to interpreting dreams, all right, I'm going to mention that in one of the points to come. Let's start with number one and say, you need to ask yourself a few questions as you begin to interpret your dreams. Notice that I'm trying to teach you how to interpret your own dreams. All right, it's wonderful for you to have somebody who can interpret your dreams, but it's even more awesome if you can interpret your own dreams so that you become the prophet of your life. In fact, say this with me. I want you to say this after me. I am the prophet of my life. I am the prophet of my life. So God speaks to you in the dream, and you need to understand that you need to interpret your dream so that you can know what God is actually saying to you. In you becoming the prophet of your life, you need to understand how to interpret your dreams, and I'm giving you a few guidelines, okay? These are not stringent rules on how to interpret dreams, but these are just guidelines to help you along. Ask yourself simple questions like, what feelings were aroused in me in the dream? Did I get positive feelings or did I get negative feelings in the dream? And even when I woke up, did I have a sense of positivity or did I have a sense of negativity when I woke up? You see, ask yourself such questions. What mood were you in when you woke up? Did you wake up in a great mood, or you woke up sad and discouraged on account of the dream that you had? In the Bible, we read that when Joseph was in prison, he interpreted dreams from some of the prisoners that were with him. And how it happened is that Joseph walked in and he found those guys looking sad, depressed, and discouraged. And he asked them, why are you looking so sad today? And they began to explain to him, well, we had some negative dreams. So what I'm saying to you is, if you wake up in a bad mood, it's very, very likely that you had a negative dream. If you wake up in a good mood, it's likely that you had a very, very positive dream. Number two, if you were to title the dream, what title would you give it? You need to find out what was the dominant theme in that dream so that you give it a headline, give it a title. It's going to help you to interpret the dream. If you had a dream in which you're being harassed by animals or dogs, give it a title. Something like strange animals, strange creatures. That's the title of your dream. You see, once you title the dream, it already gives you a head start on how to interpret the dream. If you had a dream in which you're getting married, for example, you can title the dream and say wedding celebration. That's something that already gives you a heading on how to interpret a dream. It's already guiding you along the way on the path of interpreting that dream. So title the dream. Number three, ask yourself this question. Did I see any familiar people or any familiar things? Was I in some familiar surroundings, or was I in a territory that I absolutely do not recognize? Unfamiliar things tend to mean things which are yet to happen. If I have a dream in which I find myself in a place that I've never seen before, it's probably telling me something that is yet to come, something that's yet to unfold in my life. If I see faces of people that I've never met before, maybe it's telling me that I'm coming into a new phase of life. I'm coming into a new stage of life where I'm going to be meeting new people, new events are going to be unfolding in my life. If I have, in this dream, I see familiar people, maybe it's telling me something about my current situation. Okay, these are just guidelines, guys. But as you pray and you let the Holy Spirit guide you, you will see how this is going to help you. And God is going to open up new ways on how you can interpret your dreams. But I want to emphasize to you, make it a habit to interpret your own dreams. Find a meaning for your dreams. If you do struggle, I allow you can come to my inbox. We can freely discuss your dreams and find a meaning to it, a possible meaning to it. Okay, now let's move on to dream manipulation. Because of time, I cannot go into full detail about dream interpretation, but I believe the guidelines which I've given are going to help you along. So before you run to somebody's inbox to ask them to interpret your dream for you, first make use of the gift that is within you to prophesy your own life and interpret your dreams. If you're going to come to my inbox and ask me to help you interpret a dream, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what do you think the dream means? Did you make an attempt to interpret your dream? Because you're the first person that God is going to likely give the meaning of the dream. Okay, but anyway, let's move to dream manipulation. Dream manipulation is very, very, very important. It's just as important as dream interpretation. And this is where dream manipulation comes in. If, let's say, you've had a negative dream, you've had a very, very bad dream in which you saw somebody dying, or you saw yourself dying in the dream, you're involved in a tragic accident, and you wake up in the morning, you have this strange feeling that this thing is likely to happen in your life, but of course you don't want it to happen. I want you to know that you don't need to accept it as final. It is not final. You can change it. And if you don't change it, then you have accepted it as final. So I want you to understand that dreams must never be accepted as final. They can't be changed. Okay? And they should be changed. In fact, let's put it like that. They should be changed. This is where dream manipulation comes in. You manipulate your dream and change the outcome of those events. Let's say you had a dream. I want to guide you now on how you can manipulate your dreams. Think of the most recent dream you had, which meant something to you, whether positive or negative. But for this example, we're going to concentrate on negative dreams because those are the ones you want to manipulate. There's no point in manipulating a positive dream. If you have a positive dream, just accept it as final and just decree this dream is going to be fulfilled in Jesus' name. If you had a negative dream, do not accept it as final. I repeat, do not accept that dream as final. Manipulate it. So think of the most recent dream you had. So this week, for our dream manipulation exercise, for our visualization exercise, we are going to be doing this exercise of manipulating dreams. Number one, you're going to think of the most recent dream which you had. After knowing what the dream was, I need you to find a way to interpret that dream. Okay? And then when you've interpreted the dream, maybe let's say you had a negative dream and your interpretation tells you that this dream means something bad is happening in my life or something bad is coming into my life. That's the interpretation of the dream. What you do next is you determine a new script for the dream. You determine a new script for the dream in harmony with your desired interpretation. This is very, very important. You determine a new script for the dream. Last week we talked about scripting. So you're going to make use of scripting even in this dream manipulation. So you decide, okay, in my dream, this is what happened. But now I'm making a decision that this dream is going to change. I'm writing a new script. Instead of me being killed in the dream, I'm writing a new script to say, in the dream, I'm going to overcome death. That's how you manipulate it now. So this is how you're going to do it. Determine a new script for the dream. Decide what this dream is going to be this time. When you've decided how you're going to change the events, how you're going to change the circumstances, how you're going to change the people in the dream, once you've made that decision, you go to number 3. Induce a meditative state by putting yourself midway between sleep and wakefulness. Normally, this is how I do it. I find a comfortable sitting position and I go into meditation for about 10 to 15 minutes. And this kind of meditation is where I absolutely blank my mind out. I don't allow any thoughts from outside and I don't allow any thoughts from within me to disturb my mind. I induce a meditative state that is a point that is midway between sleep and wakefulness. In other words, you're not completely asleep, but at the same time, you're not fully awake. You're somewhere in between. You're still in control of your mind, but at the same time, you've removed yourself from concentrating on what's happening on the outside. So that is midway between sleep and wakefulness. That is the meditative state that you put yourself into. Normally, it can take me between 10 to 15 minutes, but I'm not saying it's going to take you 10 to 15 minutes. It can take you much longer, it can take you much less. But you need to be in a state of complete rest and peacefulness. Once you're in that state, reenact the dream. In other words, dream the dream again. In that state of wakefulness, and sleepfulness. You're somewhere in between there. Cause yourself to dream that dream again, as close as possible to the initial dream which you had. Okay? In other words, don't change the entire dream, because then you're not manipulating the dream. If you do that, you're simply dreaming a new dream. So with dream manipulation, you're not dreaming a new dream. You're simply taking that old dream and you're manipulating it. You're changing certain things in that dream. So reenact the dream and make it as vivid as possible. Make it as real as possible. Feel what you are feeling in the dream. See all the things that you saw in the dream, and hear all the sounds and feel all the things that you felt before. Make it as vivid as possible. Then, most importantly, alter the dream in accordance with your script. Okay? This is absolutely important. Alter the dream in accordance with your script. Let's use a biblical case as an example. Okay? Because I don't have time to open my Bible, I'm just going to make reference to it. Joseph came to these guys and he said to them, "What did you dream? Tell me your dreams." And one of them said, "I had a dream. And in the dream, I saw that I was carrying 3 baskets filled with bread and buns." This guy was a baker, by the way. He was a baker, and he had a dream in which he had prepared all sorts of things for the king. He had baked some wonderful things for the king. But then, before he could deliver his goods to the king, some birds came and started eating the bread from his baskets, 3 baskets. Joseph interpreted the dream and said to him, "Within 3 days, the king is going to cut your head off." That's what the dream means. The birds eating from your baskets means the spirit of death is going to come and take your life. You're going to be killed. And the reason why it's 3 baskets, the 3 baskets represent 3 days. So within 3 days, you're going to die. You know the story? It happened exactly like that. Within 3 days, the man was killed. So I'm saying to you that with this grace of God that is given us through the law of liberty, remember we said the law of liberty is the grace of God. We are given grace to realize that you don't have to accept that dream as final. So what you will do as the baker, once Joseph has told you the meaning of your dream, or once you have discovered the meaning of your dream, that the king is going to cut off your head in 3 days, what you do is you manipulate that dream. Put yourself into a state of meditation and then reenact the dream. See yourself carrying these 3 baskets, and you're having cream donuts, you're having buns, you're having rock buns over there, you're having loaves of bread, all these things which you have baked for the king. See yourself approaching the king. And then at that moment, the birds come trying to eat the stuff which you have baked for the king. But this time, instead of the birds eating the food which you have prepared for the king, see yourself killing those birds and casting them away. And then appear before the king and present your gifts before the king. See the smile on the king's face and hear him saying to you, "Thank you so much. You've baked some wonderful things for me. I'm so happy. Within 3 days, I want you to come back and work for me again. You're coming out of the prison." And I'm telling you now, if you alter your dream in accordance with the new script, you will see it being fulfilled. This is how you become the prophet of your life. Brothers and sisters, I'm telling you that this is a grace which God has given us. And for the next 7 days, I want you to reenact a particular dream which you had, the most recent dream which you had. Now, it doesn't have to be one dream. You can do 2, you can do 3. As a matter of fact, you can do as many dreams as possible. But I'm kindly asking you, please make this an important practice, a vital practice for your life. If somebody comes to you and they're telling you that they had a dream, teach them how to manipulate dreams. Teach them how to interpret dreams. This is the way God wants us to live. I love you so much, and I believe that this teaching will be helpful not only for you, but for everybody else. I love you guys. God bless you.